Winter is almost over in Idaho, but my friends and I found the last sliver of snow. And it was more than enough to make our off-road camping trip very interesting.
45 minutes of going around a corner.
Do you smell that? It smells like freedom, because we are standing right next to the longest stretch of free-flowing river in the lower 48 states. We're right next to the River of No Return, also known as the Salmon River in Idaho, and it is beautiful. We are here in search of snow, so we are driving along the Salmon River because we are about to head up the mountain and get into some snow wheeling and snow camping. So we're gonna have a ton of fun, I hope, but also the snow looks a little wet, looks a little slippery, so we're all a little nervous about what we're gonna run into. We're here with Rob from Revere Overland.
Hello.
We're also here with my good friend, oh, there he is, Chris. Chris, it's been a while since we've been out together, man. Feels like it's been hard to get together.
Yeah, it's been way too long. So it's nice to get out again and, you know, kind of returning back to this place, returning to old stomping ground from the old BDR, and actually hanging out, and instead of just getting through it as quickly as possible, we're actually enjoying it.
But we're here in February instead of in July, and it's very different.
Yeah, there's just a fewer people in general.
Lance, you're back for more, dude.
Salmon River.
This is your old stomping grounds.
Oh yeah, I don't miss a Salmon River trip.
And also a mountain trip. We're about to head up the mountain and see how much snow we can find.
Frenchman grade.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we're approaching Frenchman.
All right, gents, I think we're on the grade now. Looks like this is our first switchback. We're in a little patch of snow. I'll tell you what, Chris, having a heated steering wheel feels really good right now. I wouldn't know. No, that's what I was telling you.
So we've crossed the snow line on the French Creek grade, and it has gotten slick. We're not cutting new trail, somebody else has driven on this, but I felt the truck slip around quite a bit, and Rob felt his Jeep slip around quite a bit. So right now, Rob's putting the snow socks on, his Wrangler. I think everybody else is wondering if we should air down a little bit more or just go slower. So anyway, it's colder now. It feels like things are freezing a little bit, whereas before we were above freezing. So now's the time, I think, to be extra careful. Are you guys slipping a little bit?
Actually, not too bad.
You guys have the KO2s, which are pretty good.
Yeah.
If you look at the tread pattern on these KO2s,
Yeah.
you can see that they're holding snow, and snow on snow gives traction.
Yeah.
I'm sliding all over the place, and it's not, but it's because I'm trying to stay in the grooves. I might get more traction if I'm just slightly off.
Yeah, it was interesting though, because like I was watching you guys slide, and I'm just following in your tracks, and I'm not sliding.
Still kind of making our way on these switchbacks, and they're just really long switchbacks. They take a while, but we're kind of in and out of snow, and some of the snow has been deeper than others, and there's been some pretty slick spots that have given me a little pause. Like my heart's jumped in my throat a few times because it's like, oh, I'm sliding the wrong way down this ledge. So we're gonna be extra careful, go slow, make sure we're on the uphill side from here on out. So here we are on the switchbacks. We're approaching the last one, and we'll come across the kind of the top of the hill here, and then we'll go find a place to camp. Hopefully that's an actual spot. I found it on Google Earth and kind of did some research on it. So I'm hopeful that it's a place that we can camp tonight, that it's flat, that it's available, that we can get out on the road and there's enough room for everybody. All those things, I have no idea, but we're gonna go find out.
What's going on?
Well, I'm not sure that the road is here. So the road's, it's one of those where it's on the map, and you can see it on Google Earth in the summer, but the snow is obscuring it. So I thought maybe this was the road with this overgrown stuff behind me, but there's a path out that somebody has walked up here that clearly looks like there's a path, but it looks too narrow to be a road to me. So I'm a little confused on what we should do in terms of trying to even drive this direction or just punting and looking somewhere else.
Punting turned out to be very easy. We just pulled directly across the road and set up camp. We were just about 500 feet above the snow line, but it was cold enough and snowy enough to call it winter camping.
This is for Rob because I'm sure he's gonna want some propane heat tonight.
Tent heaters would be a big part of this trip. Chris and I had finally got our diesel heaters working, and Rob was using a propane system. Lance started cooking steaks for everyone while Chris and I got the fire set up. And there's nothing like a nice warm fire when it's below freezing.
That's also why I'm looking.
So our goal is to have steak every night on this trip.
Look at this steak that Lance cooked. Holy cow.
Come on, we're off to a good start.
The four of us have become good friends because of adventures like these, and this adventure had something a little special to celebrate being together again.
Okay, we're about to have the first bourbon of the night, and the reason we've been waiting to have it is because we've been waiting for the ice to be made in this Blue Eddy refrigerator. It makes ice. It's got an ice maker in it, which is totally crazy. So we're gonna have bourbon, ice. The bourbon is from Eagle Rare. It's from Rob, celebrating Rob's 100,000 subscriber accomplishment. He got it in Kentucky, brought it to me, and then I gave it back to him. So it's gone through the ringer. But we're gonna have Eagle Rare and ice from the Blue Eddy ice maker.
You might think ice when it's freezing outside is a bad idea, but it was still cool, literally. After our toast to a snowy guys weekend, we did that thing where you stand around and talk about nothing, but it's so much fun no one wants to leave the fire. Well, that, and we all knew it would be a cold walk back to our tents for the night.
Good morning. Cheers. Let's take a look at where we are.
Where we were was just at the top of the French Creek grade between the Salmon River and a place called Bergdorf, Idaho. And it felt good to wake up in the snowy central Idaho wilderness.
Okay, we are just about packed up and we're gonna hit the road. What we're gonna do is just keep driving on this road we've been on and make our way kind of up the, I don't know, windy draw here and then start heading toward a place called Bergdorf, which has a hot springs and is a winter destination. We're not going to Bergdorf. We're not gonna go to a hot springs. We're gonna stay cold. But we're gonna get on the road here in the next few minutes and I think we'll be plowing tracks. So far, we've been driving in other people's tracks and I think from here on in for a bit, we'll be cutting tracks. So it should be interesting.
None of us are very experienced snow-wheelers, but we had the rigs, the gear, and just enough naivete to trudge into the mountains in search of deeper snow.
Well, the snow's getting just a little bit deeper. Yeah, man, this is starting to get a little deep.
So we're cutting fresh tracks now, which is a lot of fun. It's pretty deep snow. There's probably, I don't know, 8 to 12 inches of snow on this road. There's a snowmobile who has gone before me a couple of days ago, which if I can keep 2 of my tires in that snowmobile track, then I can get a little more traction. I just slipped off a bit.
We'll use my tree strap and just pull it out, Will. We might be able to just drive over it.
Anything, just don't tell me no, stop it still. Then you make it like a pill that I just can't trust. You tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going.
Before long, we found a familiar landmark from our Idaho BDR trip a few years ago, the abandoned bus.
You guys want to stop at the bus?
Heck yeah, I want to stop at the bus.
Oh yeah, I'm with Rob.
So we're back at the bus. The last time we were here, I think it was 2 years ago on the BDR. Me, Rob, and Chris. Lance is with us this time, which is cool. It's clearly snowy, but it's kind of a nice little, I don't know, milestone or marker or memory to come back and see it again. What's it like in there, dude, in the winter?
Well, it's a lot like the summer, only colder. but I mean, really though, it's great being back here. You know, it's kind of reliving a little bit of the BDR trip that we did, and just seeing it like transformed by the snow. And yeah, this is really cool.
Quickly on another down tree, and this one will definitely be a problem, guys. If it's short, we could pull it, but if it's long, we should cut it.
So this tree just doesn't give us quite enough clearance, so I thought we should saw it because it goes down and is wedged in between some other trees. Lance thinks we should just try to pull it and that something will snap and give way and not become a projectile through my windshield. Lance is very confident of this, so he's giving me like the Lance guarantee, safety guarantee, so I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Cool. Should we place some bets?
Yeah. Like
a comment
upon my
now.
death, like
We'll die.
Everybody's clear, so if something bad does happen, everyone should still be safe. Except for me.
The tree was not persuaded by the Gladiator, so we took a different approach.
You got the saw?
So now you're thinking we should cut it?
Yeah, just the tip where it's overhang. I don't want to cut here because then you got to undercut because of the force coming down.
Locked and loaded. Oh, Lance just became real happy.
Well, we can't get all the way through because that's our diameter.
Okay, Lance has cut this thing like 3/4 of the way through, so we're thinking it'll snap when I put some pressure on it now.
Hold up, no. I'm gonna get my axe.
Yeah, that's just a little too, I don't know, it looks like there's gonna be significant recoil if that thing snaps. It makes me a little nervous. That tree's bending a lot. So we'll just go slow, be safe. We don't have to be macho here. So that's our plan. Yeah, what was your role?
I just want you guys to know that I was supervising, which is probably the most important role.
Okay, we've hacked through this thing. Third time's a charm, so let's see if we can tow it out of the way. All right, well, third time's a charm.
And in what seemed like a matter of minutes, we hit another downed tree.
We got another tree down. This one might be a much bigger problem, guys. There might be a chance we can get under it.
Maybe we can get under it? As long as we're okay with taking a scratch or two, I think we can maybe shave some of these and get under it. Okay, I'm either gonna pull up and give Lance a little boost to stand on so he can chop these branches off, or I might just see if I can get through because the branches look really supple. So this will be a good test here.
Autobots, roll out.
Flock to the feature called Haas. Let them be the stir to the style of the stew. Sip while the kick of the plug form aroma. Then grab a daisy to sip your favorite brew. Letting this soul fire be your first prior, but don't let the kick drum stop your big toe. See that the 3 will be your thread, but like my man Chuck D said, what a brother, no dance while I play in a cue cart sway from my flower girls, China and Jet. The button is pressed in 89 will start the panic. From De La Soul and a prince from Stet. Negative noise will be all divided. Dangerous, the dance population will croon. Ducks and cassettes will all be with when paying position to the naughty noise called plug 2.
Will, have you looked at your top? Is it fully secured?
A lot of that was like in the bed.
Guys, I think we should air down more.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, if you're struggling, for sure.
Well, I'm having a hard time breaking trail on this stuff. And I think I just need more float. So we're gonna air down a little bit more. Right now I'm at like 17. I think I'll go down to like 8 on each tire. I've got these Method bead grip wheels that should probably allow me to go down as far as I need to, but I think cutting the PSI in half will give me more float and kind of make it easier to break trail.
You guys ready? Roll out.
This is exactly snow wheeling, boys. Inches at a time.
It is tricky. It's a puzzle. Every inch is a puzzle.
We finally found the corner we could not master. The snow was deep and soft, and the Gladiator was getting no traction whatsoever.
45 minutes of going around a corner. This is winter driving, though. I mean, in these conditions, the snow is deep. There's not a compacted base underneath it.
I want to try this with the Bronco.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a mess.
So we're gonna do an experiment because here we are out here breaking trail. I've been breaking trail with no chains, no snow socks, just kind of airing down. I air down to 8, and then I air down to 6. And however, in the comment section in snow wheeling videos, you almost always hear something about chains. Like if you just would have put chains on, you would have done better. So I'm not convinced that's true, but we're gonna experiment with it. So we're gonna put chains on the Gladiator. So when I say I'm putting chains on, I mean Lance is putting chains on. My car. I will help you, dude. I think my hypothesis is I will dig and sink with chains. The chains are good for more hard pack surfaces, but not good for powder. When you're sinking down and trying to find a base, it will just dig and make everything heavier and all that stuff. However, let's do the experiment and find out.
Guys, I'm totally floored right now with these chains. It's like the exact opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I mean, I think they work. Your sock is loose.
So I guess I might as well fix that while Will makes a foot progress at a time. Uh-oh, he might be stuck.
No, I'm stuck, man. I'm good and stuck. I did it, thank you, sir.
So, this is the problem with chains. I was getting a lot of forward momentum, a lot of grip coming up the hill, but when we got into some soft stuff, it dug down into a pretty massive hole to the point where we had to use the kinetic rope to like get me out of it. So like we haven't done a recovery yet, except for the kinetic rope because of the chains. So for all the people out there who say chains are the way to go in snow, you're not wrong, but you're also not right. It's like, depending on the snow, depending on the angle of the hill, depending on your momentum, I am gonna keep the chains on the truck for a while and just kind of keep playing with them. And I've been really impressed by them, but this is the downside of chains, and this is what we were all kind of afraid of, that it digs in and you sink.
We now came to the conclusion that we were not making it up this mountain. So there was only one thing left to do. Head to the Salmon River.
Put your sunglasses on, boys.
Oh, that's glorious.
I love the snow in this late afternoon sun.
It's way easier going down. A little bit more fun, too.
Kind of uncontrolled. I'm just sliding around it, following the ruts.
Bobsled.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's exactly what it is.
I was just plain fun coming down it.
All right, we're back to this corner that gave us so much trouble coming up. Let's see if we can get around it going down. I feel like going down, you just like slide around it. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah. Whoa, much easier and more fun. All right. Oh, that was way better going down.
For some reason, it's so much prettier coming down than it was going up. I wonder if it's just because the sun's out.
Yeah, we're getting on towards sunset. Idaho in its glory. Hey, do you guys want to try to camp just a little bit further down and actually drive down onto the sand?
I think I'd like to do the sandbar.
Good, me too.
I'm selfish. I want to order myself, I swear. You don't need nobody else, I swear. I want to order myself because I'm selfish. I want to order myself, I swear. You don't need nobody else, I swear.
How's this for a campsite?
Oh, it's the Salmon River, baby. There's nothing better.
There's nobody out here,
We're
like
all-
anywhere.
We have the entire Salmon River to ourselves.
Yeah, like in the summer, this place is just wall-to-wall people. But like right now, there's like there's no other lights from any other human.
Yeah, I feel like we won the lottery.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we need to get a fire going. There's nothing, you can't camp on a beach without a fire. And it's cold.
Fire and steak and bourbon.
Fire, steak, bourbon. That's all we're doing tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starting
now.
For Idahoans, the Salmon River is a special place. It's wild and free, a symbol of why we love this land so much and what brought us here in the first place. And we were very excited to have it all to ourselves tonight.
Throw me in the deep end. I'm ready now to swim. The air in my lungs may not last very long, but I'm in.
We were here 2 years ago in the summer, and like we camped right over there on this little spot that no one else had found yet, no one else had claimed, but like the sandbar that we're on now was mobbed with people. And so here in February, 2 years later, there's no one dumb enough to come out here and camp except us. So yeah, we have the sandbar all to ourselves. It's just beautiful, it's level, it's clean, the river's running by. We're gonna listen to the river all night, and it's just gonna be great. Chris, I see you're breaking out the Aussie grill. What are we having?
We are having some ribeyes with my special seasoning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is this special seasoning?
Secret. Top secret. And by top secret, I mean just a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of paprika, salt and pepper, and olive oil. The first time I used this Aussie grill was here, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, we did ribs at that other campsite just up the river.
This is a Aussie grill full circle moment.
It is.
Chris, thank you, sir. Thank you for cooking these steaks, man. They look so good.
Well, I hope you guys like them, and you know, this is the first cook on the Aussie this year, so hopefully it turned out okay.
Chris, this is more than okay, man. This is freaking delicious. Just like you. You're a delicious man.
I've been told that many times.
By your uncle.
So Uncle Giuseppe.
So it's time to say goodnight. We are just gonna hang out on the campfire, enjoy the still air. It's a little bit warmer. I think it's probably like 35 degrees right now, so it feels really warm compared to what it was earlier today. And we're just hanging out, and the rest of what happens tonight should not be put on camera. Good night. Coffee on the banks of the river was exceptional the next morning. It was so good, I couldn't be bothered to change out of my pajamas before having a cup with the guys. So say what you want, I was warm and cozy in my silk bag pajamas. Sorry, not sorry.
So, Lance, we're testing out this new inspired Overland super lightweight tent. What do you think so far?
This tent was purposely built specifically for me.
Oh yeah, why is that?
It's everything I want in a tent. It's ultra lightweight, it's minimal.
The reason that we thought it was cool because it weighs like 76 pounds or something, right?
Yeah, 76 I believe.
And it's like a soft shelled wedge tent.
Yes.
And you think it's okay?
It's perfect.
How's it hold up on the trail when you're driving?
You don't know it's there.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
And this is how you sleep. You sleep with all the windows open. You sleep with like 20 degrees and you have all the not just the windows, but the whole thing's unzipped.
Yeah, I'm out here to be in the wilderness, and I take as much of, you know, these creature comforts away just so I can be in the wilderness.
So what do you think about like Rob and I who are running heaters at night?
To each their own. I mean, it gets you guys out here.
I know what you really think though. We're just packing up camp now, and we're gonna head towards Yellow Pine today. It's quite a ways away, so we're gonna cover some miles on pavement, then we're gonna hop back on dirt and hopefully hop back on some snow and wind up someplace snowy tonight near Yellow Pine. So I'm excited for the drive. It's a long one. Lance is having to head home today, so it's just gonna be Chris, Rob, and I on the trail. So let's hit it.
This is the moment in the trip we were feeling invincible, which is a telltale sign something bad was about to happen.
That's the motto. Throw back with no chaser, with no trouble. Popping that Moet time, baby, let's make some bubbles. Puffing on that gelato, wanna be seeing double. Oh, you know, that's the motto. Drop a few bills and pop a few champagne bottles.
Guys, I got bad news. I just crashed my drone. Crashed it across the river. It's real easy to get to, Will.
The drone was in a terrible spot for recovery, across the river in a tree 100 feet up a rock wall. We tried to recover it, but it was too dangerous, so we came back and tried plan B.
But Rob, if I can still connect to that drone, I think we can download the footage.
Well, I've done it again. I have lost my drone today, so I don't know how many times I've done this. Crashed it many times. This is maybe the third time I've lost a drone. And we can see it, that's the painful part. We can see it, it's just across the river in a place that I can't get over and get it. Lance and I hiked and tried to get it earlier, but it's not possible. So we're sitting here trying to download footage from it. I think I can pop in a micro SD card and start downloading footage, assuming there's battery left.
Oh, it is downloading them?
It's downloading.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, Rob and I were just talking about like everything that's on that. It's good.
It's gonna ruin your video too if we don't download this stuff.
The thing that kind of bothers me the most is that I'm sharing footage with Rob, and so I hope I can get him some stuff for his video. That is probably the most upsetting to me. I don't want to ruin his video or make his video less than it could be because we're sharing footage. I couldn't download it all because the battery's just like slowly draining. And once that battery runs out, we can't swap anymore, or we can't download any more footage from the drone. Bye drone, you've been so good. So much great footage. I'm sorry I abused you so much. Sorry to leave you in a tree, but hey, there are worse places in the world to have a grave than in that beautiful tree on top of a rock cliff overlooking the Salmon River. So you're welcome, Droney. Also, I'm sorry.
Part of every adventure is embracing the things that go wrong and letting yourself change plans when needed. And this was the decision we grappled with as we made our way toward McCall, Idaho.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
What we found on our way was a beautiful winter landscape that renewed our excitement to be out doing things that most people shy away from. It was just the three of us now, and we had one very important decision to make about driving on a road that was somewhere between being open and for snowmobiles only.
What do you got up there, Rob?
You might want to come take a look. Okay, after looking at this and just kind of talking about how much ire we want to draw from the snowmobile community, we're not going to come up this road. We're not going to try to drive to Yellow Pine on this road. Like, there's a point of pride with me. It's like, we can drive on this road. It's for all vehicles. But at the same time, I don't want to tear up a snowmobile road that's clearly heavily used. That seems just kind of like a jerk move. And it's late now. It's 5:30. There's no way we're going to get to Yellow Pine tonight. So we're like, well, we could drive up this and see where it goes for an hour or two. Or we could go back and camp on the lake. And so I think what we're going to do is go back and see if we can find something on the lake to camp at. And just focus on having a great night and not focus on roads being closed and drones being lost. So here we are. There is a place I know right in here that I've been to before, and there's some spots along the lake here. And so we're just gonna backtrack a little bit and try to find a place to camp for the night.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
I knew of a little spot next to a pond that feeds into a lake. It was off the road a bit and secluded, especially in the winter. So I broke trail going in, and we found a great place to call home for the night.
It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
We were down a man without Lance, but there was no shortage of conversation as we huddled around the fire, drank very good bourbon, and recollected the adventure we'd been on so far. Well, good morning. It was a wonderful cold night last night. We huddled around the fire and then we turned our diesel heaters on and we were nice and warm. I think it was probably 18 degrees last night, so I would consider that to be a pretty cold night. And so I wanted to take a second to show you what has changed this trip for me. And it's this. It's this battery. This is a battery from All Powers. It's the S2000. And the reason I say it's changed the trip for me is because for the first time ever, I've been able to use my diesel heater as it's supposed to be used. No problems, no error codes. And I have had blissfully warm, dry tents. Now, look, I'm from Idaho. We don't need diesel heaters to go camping in the winter. Like you can do it without it. But when you have it, it is so nice. It's so nice to just go in there and warm up or dry your shoes out or whatever. And I have not been able to do that because my power source has been lacking. I tried all kinds of different things, all kinds of different batteries, different battery companies. And so when the folks from All Powers reached out to me, I said, hey, I'll try it because I'm looking for something that can power this diesel heater, which has been real finicky. So this is a great battery because it's not very big, but it packs a punch. So it's 2,000 watts. It's got 4 AC outputs on the top. It's got one cigarette lighter thing, so I've been running my refrigerator off this. It's got 4 USBs and then 2 USB-Cs that put out a lot of watts. So like this is what I've been charging my drone batteries off of, and it charges it really fast. And then it's got inputs here for like if you want to do a car charger, if you want to do solar. In the back, it has like a big old cable. I think it takes about an hour and a half for it to fully charge the whole thing. And I have had 0 power issues on this trip for the first time in a long time. I've got a step-up converter that plugs into the AC for my diesel heater. And in the past, what's happened is it started and stopped, started and stopped, started and stopped. Like it reaches, the battery wasn't able to give enough ampage that in the beginning phase of the diesel heater startup, and it would shut off and I'd get an error code. And then when I would finally get it working, other error codes would come up because it was just not happy after being kind of, you know, messed with to get going. So this thing, I have 0 codes, plugs in, it works perfectly, plenty of power, and it's changed my trip. So I got to say thanks to the All Powers folks for sending this over. It's really been nice. I'm gonna keep using it. So Chris, you have some new gear that you're trying out on this trip.
Oh yeah.
For the first time.
Yep.
What do you got?
This is it.
Ooh, a new spare tire bag.
This is an Atelier Expedition Aventure. I want to say it that way because it's from Quebec in Canada.
Oh, and they speak French in Quebec.
Yes, however, I do not speak French, and so I just totally massacred the name.
Look at this. It says Fat Ow Canada.
Which I think
or Fiat. No, it's Fat. Fate?
Fate? I don't know. Ow.
I think that means it's a super premium.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you know what? Like, whatever that means, maybe made in Canada or manufactured in Canada, something like that. Anyway, this thing is really nice. The material that they use, it's like heavy. Reminds me of like the covers that you put like on soft shell tents.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know what this feels like, PVC stuff. It's really thick and heavy.
Really thick. Yeah, and then the other thing is that it goes on really fast. It actually goes over the top of the spare tire. It's got a couple of cinch straps, and that's it.
Is it like adjustable? It looks like there's cinches on the side or something.
Oh man, yeah. So there's this. So this is the main strap that you use to cinch it down, and then it's got a ton of other straps. Like on the side, you can make it smaller. There's a couple of like cinch straps here that you can tighten, and then you kind of see how it goes over on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the sides, there's some more cinch straps as well.
So you can get a nice tight fit.
Yeah, it was really tight. And that's another thing, was like with the Trasharoo, it sags. I didn't have a saggy Trasharoo. That sounds horrible.
That sounds, I mean, that's true in more ways than one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true specifically and metaphorically.
Yes, saggy Trasharoo is a thing. So, but this one is not saggy. This is held up really nicely.
Awesome, man. So, Atelier Adventures, is that the name of it?
Atelier Expedition Adventure.
Awesome. So, let's go ahead and put the link for this thing in the description in case people are interested in this bag. It looks really cool, man.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
it also has a little Velcro spot, so you can put your favorite Venture to Roam patch right there and just have it on the trash instead of in the trash where you'd normally put it.
This is also your first time staying in the Top Oak tent. Now, I did a quick review on this tent, and now you're camping in it.
Yeah.
And so this is like, it's similar to my Roof Nest Pro in a lot of ways. But I'm curious as to what's your take after being in this thing for a few nights out in the winter.
Well, so I have 4 nights in it so far, and I have to say that I slept the best in it of any rooftop tent that I've owned.
Really?
So, yeah, the mattress is way more comfortable than the one we have now. With other rooftop tents, when I just use like the regular mattress, by the morning, I'm basically, the mattress is compacted and my hip is like on the base plate. With this one, that hasn't happened a single time. It's really dark in there. Like in the morning when I wake up, I think like, okay, the sun's just barely coming up. It's like, no, the sun's full.
9 o'clock.
It's like 9 o'clock, yeah. But it does have an awesome skylight, which I did open up this morning, and little natural light in.
Is there enough room up there? Like, did it feel like
yeah,
you got enough space?
There's plenty of room for 2 people in there.
Cool.
Like, yeah, without any problem.
And you've got that extra headspace because of the pop out.
And you know what? Something else I really like that is it has the rails on the side, and so
you can mount stuff. Like you mounted an awning.
Yeah, so I mounted an awning
to the side of the tent.
And then I manufactured a little mount for my.
Oh yeah, you've got your traction boards mounted to the bottom of the tent. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Swiss Army knife going on there, man.
Yeah, and then my shovel.
Oh, look at that!
Mounted up there too.
So it's a tent and kind of a rack.
Yeah.
Folks, this link also in the description for this tent, if you're interested in seeing what the Top Oak is about. So since we're talking about tents, I gotta take a second to sing my praises for my tent. This is the Intrepid Geo 2.5, and it's a different kind of tent. Come here. It has 2 struts on it. It has a hinge like 3/4 of the way up on the roof. So it gives you 40% more space, even though it's the same footprint as the GFC and the Top Oak. And one of the things that I've loved on this trip is this massive window in the front. So like, I was up there like reading books last night, looking down on the fire from my big, huge picture window and a skylight up there. And the amount of room it has is incredible. It's really comfortable. The mattress is nice.
I love how you pretend that you're reading books, like you try and act like you're cultured and you're just up there browsing on social media instead.
I'm gonna do a full review on this tent later this month, but I just want to take a second to say, like, I'm loving the Intrepid. Also, link will be in the description for this one. Just, you guys can like get lots of links for lots of different tents that you see in this video. What do you think of your tent, Rob?
Not a fan. It's really small. It's not easy to put up. Don't get a lot of headspace like you do with that one. I'm really jealous of all that headspace. Like, you can barely move around. I feel like this is almost the same width, but I would not want 2 people in there. Ventilation's awful, so I get condensation every night. But it is really light. This is something you want for 1 person in the summer if you're going wheeling in a Jeep and you just don't want a lot of weight on the top.
Yeah. I guess it's all about the weight with this one. But they don't make these anymore, do they?
They don't. I think they're going to come out with another version which might solve some of the problems this one has.
Cool.
Which would be nice.
Today was the day we'd all go home, and it meant we probably wouldn't see Rob again for a long time as he was headed to Utah and then back to Kentucky. When you're at the end of an adventure with good friends, sometimes you start to see more meaning in the things that pass by your window. And I was looking out mine and thinking how lucky I am to have friends that want to go out and do these crazy winter adventures with me. This would be our last snow trip of the season, and while I love the change of seasons and warm weather camping, there's something really special about being in the backcountry in winter. So, to celebrate, I took Rob and Chris to my favorite breakfast place in McCall. The Shore Lodge is a place Kate and I go often, and they have a great breakfast with an outstanding view. It's not quite as good as camp, but it'll do. So here's to the last of winter, here's to good friends, and here's to finding time to do more adventures like this.
I didn't like that at all.
You know, the thing about tables is that they're great for putting stuff on.
True, this is true.
You're all there with your grey pants and your...
You didn't get the memo.
And your
We are gray
Very
pants.
neutral
You're
jacket.
exactly the
Look
opposite.
at you're the opposite.
You're gray top and brown pants. At least they're brown on the back.
Huh? The pants?
That's
Yeah.
staying.
Brown back, yeah.
Oh, no.